One of the core ideas behind the Heureka project is learning. And perhaps the single most critical factor that influences how long it takes a person to learn something new is motivation. So despite the occasional lack of motivation, I continue to explore new ideas. But exploring new ideas about motivation itself, not so motivating. Everything has been written about motivation, except perhaps for this quote, this one here, or these ones. I was just having some fun with the programmatically generated images, and this is what it gave me. But what makes motivation the perennial muse where everyone continues to write about it? Well, it's the thing that we all know, that sometimes it's hard to do things, even if we want to do them. So what is it about motivation then? And how can we become more motivated? Well, let's figure it out. We all know that motivation comes in two flavors, extrinsic and intrinsic. Extrinsic motivation are the factors outside of us that encourage us to do something. Intrinsic motivation are the things internal to us that supposedly we want to do. We are driven forward by external rewards. There's something deep evolutionary going on here. But what is it then that still makes it difficult to do the things that we want to do? Well, one idea in behavioral psychology is to try to turn those sticks into carrots. Can we try to become more intrinsically motivated by something? Well, a new idea that's emerged is called skin in the game. Skin in the game is a type of motivation. Having skin in the game means incurring some risk, monetary or otherwise, by being involved in achieving a goal. See, you can't just sit from the sidelines and be motivated for something to happen. You have to put yourself into the situation in order to be motivated. No risk means no possible future carrots or sticks. But viewed another way, skin in the game is just a Ulysses Pact. So remember from Homer's Odyssey, Ulysses wanted to hear the siren song as he sailed by. But hearing the siren song would cause him to go insane and crash his boat into the rocks, just like it had been done for every sailor before. So what does he do? He makes a deal with his crew. He says, no matter what I say or do, you cannot untie me from the bow of the ship. So he stuck wax in all of his sailors' ears, and he was the only one then to have sailed by and hear the siren song. So this Ulysses Pact is a deal you make with yourself in order to ensure that you don't have future regret for a decision that you make. So in the context of motivation, what this means is that you're going to make a deal with yourself to put skin in the game in order to ensure that your future self is just as motivated to do the thing you want to do today in the future. So how do you future-proof motivation? Well, perhaps you can put some skin in the game. Although extrinsic rewards and punishment can be motivating, people are hardwired to be motivated, to learn and to grow and to do things. So the question still is, how can you become more intrinsically motivated to do something? Well, people are trying to take advantage of gamification. Gamification, of course, is when you are trying to apply the elements of gameplay to a task. Want to learn something? Make a game out of it. Any of you that have young children know the best way to get a toddler to do something is to make a game out of it. But of course, this manifests in terms of leaderboards and badges. And so this gamification is an idea that we can apply to our own motivation and our own projects and our own learning. But gamification also has a problem, that this is still not truly intrinsic reward or intrinsic motivation. See, we still have this extrinsic status signaling and leaderboard badges and so on that we are trying to achieve. And while it might be fun, that still lacks the internal intrinsic motivation. So while it might make things more fun to do, relying on extrinsic rewards means that you still haven't figured out why you want to do something. Indeed, finding your why can be a strong motivator. In fact, an entire self-help literary genre is predicated on the idea that if you find your why, if you know something about yourself, you then are more likely to change your behavior or your actions. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, now has famously said, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. No single instance will transform your beliefs, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your identity. This is why habits are crucial, he says. They cast repeated votes for a type of person. In Atomic Habits, Clear argues that identity is a powerful motivator. Do you want to start running, or do you want to become a runner? Do you want to write a book, Or do you want to be a book writer, a novelist, a published author? Do you want to go on a diet? Or do you want to be the type of person who makes healthy decisions? Clearly articulating why you want to do something is a powerful motivator for behavior change, for you to do the thing that you want to do. But sometimes internal motivation just isn't enough. There are real barriers to doing the thing that you want to do. For example, time. We all need more time. I've often said, I'm too busy is a thinly veiled way of saying that's not important. And so that's true. We want to make time for the things that are important to us, even and especially if we're motivated to do them. So what can we do to get more time? I've often talked about building systems to be more efficient with your time. So perhaps we can build systems that allow us to be more efficient, to have more time to do the things that we are motivated to do. If you go to Amazon, you'll find over 60,000 books on motivation. But perhaps this isn't the place to find it. Instead, motivation is found inside of you, your identity, and making choices about the type of person that you are. See, I'm a lifelong learner. I'm curious, and I really like to explore and uncover new things. So, even when I'm not motivated to write about motivation, I still soldier on because this is part of who I am. And if you've made it to the end of this video, I suspect it's part of who you are, too. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.